Hello YouTube, it's Michael B. Thank you so much for watching today's video, and I'm so excited because we got huge news in the home arcade space as a new player has stepped up and staked its claim in the countercade land of home arcade, and that is Evercade with the announcement of the Evercade Alpha, and I'm going to tell you more about it right after this. So that's right, guys. In today's video, we're going to be talking all about the Evercade Alpha that was just announced, this awesome new countercade that has the look and feel of a replica arcade machine built for your counter and will be accessible with all of the Evercade cartridge games, especially the arcade game lineup, and it's going to have competition controls. This thing's going to be pretty badass. But before we get into that, I want to say thank you so much, everybody, for checking out the video. Guys, I always appreciate the support. If this is your first time to the channel and you like what you see, go ahead, subscribe. Click the bell for notifications. All that YouTube jazz. So with a ever so slightly dig at Arcade1Up, Evercade have announced the Evercade Alpha, their very own line of countertop arcades that are designed specifically after, recreation arcades, partnering with Capcom once again to bring us some of the biggest names in the home arcade space. One is going to be featured after Mega Man: The Power Battles. The other one's going to be showcased after the Street Fighter games. These comes with 8 games on each machine, plus it's going to be compatible with all the Evercade carts. This is something to truly get excited about for people who want an a la carte type option for an arcade machine. Evercade is bringing that to the marketplace. So the press release just went out from Evercade. They're releasing 2 Bartop arcades that are going to have competition style controls. I'm going to come back to this in just a little bit because I have to say that again. Competition style controls, 2 Bartop versions, 6 built-in games from leading Japanese arcade publisher Capcom. The first ever Evercade compatible arcade machine, allowing you to change the game beyond the included titles with physical Evercade cartridges, a new evolution in the home arcade market, never been done before. 6 unique built-in games on each unit, including Street Fighter, the Alpha series, Mega Man: The Power Battles, Final Fight, Strider, and more. We'll go over that in more details. Available to pre-order at the special introductory price of $199. British European pounds, $229 American, $229. I don't know what this is. Only available during the pre-order period. Normal price is going to be $249 US. Releases November 2024. Pre-orders open June 4th, 2024. This is the exciting stuff that we've got going on. Evercade Alpha allows you to change the game. Available in 2 officially licensed designs from our partner, legendary arcade game publisher Capcom. Evercade Alpha brings a new evolution to the Bartop arcade market. So, in addition to built-in titles unique to the pre-built market, the Evercade Alpha is fully compatible with the Evercade ecosystem. With dual cartridge slots on the device, you can play any Evercade cartridge on the arcade. This gives you the choice of over 50 plus cartridges, 500 plus arcade, console, home computer, and indie games that you can play on the Evercade Alpha and physically own. No downloads, no online. Alright, so here's what I wanted to talk about. One of the knocks on the Arcade1Up Countercades is they use the same buttons and controls that Arcade1Up usually use. They're saying right here that this will come with competition-grade arcade controls for 1 player and 2 USB ports at the front, so we know that. It also features higher quality components than many in the Bartop arcade space with an 8-inch high-resolution IPS screen. We know that some of the Arcade1Up countercades in the past have used TN monitors, some discoloration from side to side, not really great viewing angles on this. We know what Evercade delivers in their handheld unit. The screens are usually really good viewing angles, so we're expecting the same from this arcade. The one thing I am a little bit concerned about, they're saying stereo speakers with the handheld devices. Some of those haven't been so good in the past, so, you know, with a little bit of a tinny sound to them, so we'll see how the speakers work out on this. Of course, it also has Wi-Fi for any system updates. I mean, there's no Wi-Fi on any of the Arcade1Up Countercades that I can think of, and they're in the same price point, so, I mean, you're getting a lot of value here. Alright guys, so let's take a look at some of the pictures they've included. Here is the Alpha Street Fighter Edition. You can see it has that big blue form factor, which looks pretty good. It's got the control panel for Street Fighter 2 Champion Edition. There you can see the buttons aren't going to be converse. I wonder what the stick's like. They're saying competition grade. I know with the Deluxe Edition, it's actually going to have SAMWA controls, so that'll be very interesting. It's got a really cool on-off light-up coin door button there, and there's your controller slots underneath and your USB controls. So very, very, very interesting. Moving on, we've also got the Dark Edition showing what the light-up marquee looks like. And another cool thing they're mentioning here is this is going to have replacement marquees. So if you don't want to stick with your light-up Street Fighter 2 Champion Edition marquee, you can actually switch it out for one of the other marquees in the game. So it could be a Street Fighter Alpha, Street Fighter Third Strike, something along those lines. I'd have to go take a look at the games that are available. There's a better look at the model itself. Look at that. It's a big blue countercade. Whoever would have thunk it? One player. I wonder how comfortable that controller is going to be. Anyways, it looks really good. I mean, it's interesting seeing something like this from outside the realm of Arcade1Up, right? So there's another look at the other angle, a couple more looks. Here's the games that are going to be on there. So you're getting Puzzle Fighter 2 Turbo, Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo, Street Fighter 2 Champion Edition, Street Fighter Alpha 2, and Street Fighter Alpha 3. Here's 3 games we have never seen come to the Arcade1Up ecosystem. These will be on the console itself, so very, very interesting. And there's a look with the darkened image showing what the light-up marquee will look like. So, moving on, then we've got the Evercade Alpha, the Mega Man Power Battles one. I understand why they're doing this one. Obviously, Mega Man is a huge franchise and huge character to pull into this. Wouldn't have been my first choice. I mean, I would have went with Final Fight, but, you know, I understand why they're doing it. It's a business decision. Mega Man sells, right? So there's a look with the lights off, what the marquee will look like. There's a side view. Obviously, they went with a custom art job on this because there was no big blue Mega Man Power Battles. There was just a sticker on the side if there was anything. So, very interesting look. It's actually, if you look at it, it's got the same buttons as Marvel Superheroes. So, really, really cool there. So another side view, then we move on to the other side. It's got a mirrored image. Even though this isn't based on a traditional arcade, I think it looks really cool. The marquee looks really cool. And of course, like we talked about, you're going to be able to change out those marquees. So if you don't like the front, obviously you can turn it to something else. So moving on, let's talk about the games that are on this. Of course, it's got Final Fight, which I love Final Fight, Carrier Air Wing, which I'm actually not familiar with that game at all. Mega Man the Power Fighter, Power Battle, Power Fighters, Mega Man 2. Honestly, guys, I love Mega Man, but I've never played either of these games. Strider keeps seeming to find its way onto these home arcades. I mean, there's so many better games in my opinion, but, you know, Strider is available. It's still really good. And last but not least, Knights of the Round. I mean, that's a pretty awesome selection of Capcom games. These are going to be on the console itself. Hopefully, when you can get the additional marquees to go in, there's 3 with the deluxe edition. So hopefully you can get Final Fight, Knights of the Round. Those would be the most badass in my opinion. Be interesting to see what comes out of this. And then we'll get some more looks at the arcade. There it is with the lights out and all the games. Lights out again. And there's the logo. So yeah, that's the Evercade Alpha. So guys, that's the big reveal from Evercade. They are dipping their toes into the home arcade space, and finally we have a place to play those arcade cartridges. We've been buying up and playing on the VS or the EXP so far, and now we can play them on a Bartop or Tabletop arcade. Basically, this is Evercade's souped up countercade version with the Evercade Alpha. I really like what they're doing here. Obviously, it looks really good. It's a good looking product. The Street Fighter 1 emulates a real arcade. The Power Battle 1, Mega Man Power Battle, has a real bezel, marquee, and then fits it to make it work with Mega Man. Of course, there's lots of cool options. These come with 3 swappable marquees as well, so you can change them out for other games on the arcade. And that's a really nice feature too, because it gives you that sense of, I don't know what it is, nostalgia while playing the game you wouldn't otherwise be able to get when playing on a multicade like this. So like with an Arcade1Up, you get the one main game, and if you play Final Fight on your Street Fighter cab, you're just playing Final Fight on a Street Fighter cab. But with this, maybe you can swap it out and play with a Final Fight marquee. There are a couple things that I do find a little bit, strange. Again, with the Capcom licensing with Evercade, it's always on a built-in unit. It would be super nice, because Capcom has such a amazing library of arcade games, to see some Capcom cartridges down the line that we can add additional games to these Bartops and play with other Capcom licensed games. So I'd love to see that. The other thing I find really interesting is the fact that it doesn't have an HDMI out slot. So you can play on the Bartop, but nowhere I could see on this announcement, and I may have just missed it, do I see an HDMI out slot. I think that's a missed opportunity. And one of the cool things Evercade have always done with their handheld and handheld devices so far, so would have been nice to see that. Other than that, I think this is really cool. The price, is that a good price? I don't know with these things. I always question on that. $250 US for the regular price is a big chunk of money, but at least we can get a slight discount, in the beginning for buying early. You can get that one. I think it was $225 or $229, $230 for buying early. Keep in mind, you look at the last Replicade, and the last Replicade Golden Tee is going to be $249. So when you compare it to the Replicade that just came out, not a bad price. Anyways, guys, that's enough of me talking about this. I want to hear what you think. What do you think of this new announcement from Blaze Entertainment, the next evolution in the Evercade line of products and consoles? The Evercade Alpha, their first home arcade Bartop countertop that will take Evercade cartridges, arcade cartridges, all the cartridges, so you can play it at home. One thing I almost completely forgot, one of the other cool things about this, it's a home for indie games, so we get to play all these really cool indie games on our handheld, on our VS system. And now, for the first time since really the iArcade, Evercade has now become the home for playing really cool indie games in an arcade form factor that you think shouldn't work, but for some reason works. So really cool to see that as well. Anyways, guys, thank you so very much for watching. This is Michael B. the Game Genie. Tell your friends about me, and I'll talk to you next time.